Happy Monday, folks. Welcome back to WWE Network and Chill, where every single Monday right here on the show, I, Graham Giason Matthews, break down all the content that I watch on the WWE Network, of course, for the past 2 months now. I've been talking about Total Bellas Season 2 airing on the E! Network. We're just about done. Today we're talking Season 2, Episode 7, Countdown to Mania. Next week is the big, or rather, should I say this week, it's airing this Wednesday. This coming week will be the Season 2 finale of the show, culminating in Nikki Bella getting proposed to by John Cena after what is seemingly her final match in wrestling, and also Brie Bella giving birth to Birdie Joe. All of that will be discussed in next week's edition. Today is the penultimate episode of Season 2 in Total Bellas. Let's get right down to it. Nikki starts off the show by landing in Phoenix to find out more about her neck injury. We closed out the most recent episode, Episode 6, with Nikki getting her on SmackDown by hitting Tyler Breeze with a spear, kind of re-injuring that injury in her neck, kind of re-hurting her neck. So she's going to go check it out to Dr. Uribe, I think it is, Dr. Uribe or something like that. And she calls Brie in the car about how nervous she is. She doesn't know what she's going to hear, and she really, really, really wants to wrestle at WrestleMania, obviously, alongside her boyfriend, whatever, husband-to-be eventually, John Cena, but that might be in jeopardy coming off this injury. Meanwhile, Mama Bella visits Brie and JJ at Brie's house. She's concerned about Nikki. Obviously, this is why she dropped in. But while there, Lauren visits. But also, she feels like Brie and Brian need to get the dogs trained. Winston and Josie ahead of Birdie Joe's birth, coming up fairly soon. She thinks that it might be a hazard, a health hazard, to have the dogs around the baby when they're not trained. And the dogs, walk on tables. They do all this other crazy stuff. But they're not vicious. If you've seen Josie and if you've seen Winston, you know they're not big dogs. So I know anything can happen with, they're not pit bulls either. I'm not sure what type of dogs they are. But they are cute. They're small. They're not all that dangerous. But Mama Bella is worried nonetheless. Moving right along here, Nikki learns that she has a slightly herniated disc in her neck. When she learns about that, she finds out about that. She tells the family. She starts breaking down crying. She's told that if she continues to wrestle, she might never be able to work out again if she continues to aggravate the injury. It makes Brie very sad, obviously, and makes her think of Brian, how he didn't really have a choice in his retirement to WWE. And I say WWE because he could wrestle again. I don't think Brie would go that far, but I think Brian, and I'm sure I'm not the only one to think this, that when he does leave WWE and his contract is up next year, he's going to go wrestle elsewhere. Probably Ring of Honor, which would be fucking awesome, but we'll check back up on that. And imagine them covering that in on a Total Bellas episode, season 3 or 4, whatever it might be, by this time next year. Brian leaving WWE and going on to wrestle in Ring of Honor. How fucking awesome would that be? I don't know if WWE would promote that so much on WWE.com and whatnot, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, Nikki doesn't want to be forced to retire the same way that Brian does, so just keep that in mind throughout the remainder of this episode. JJ, another side story of today's episode. There's a lot of stories going on with Brie and Brian and the dog and where she wants to give birth. And Nikki and her injury is the focal point of this episode, but you have that going on, the other stuff going on with Brie and Brian, the dogs and Mama Bella, and now this as well. It's a pretty busy, jam-packed episode. JJ, the brother of Nikki and Brie, wants to renew his wedding vows with his wife Lauren. So he wants to do that after all the struggles they've been through together throughout their marriage recently, so he feels like it would only be fitting. Meanwhile, Brie wants Nikki to relax and hang out, but Nikki is go, 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 go. WrestleMania is right around the corner. I think as they were talking, WrestleMania was 10 days away. I'm not sure if that's accurate. It would make sense as the penultimate episode of Total Bellas before the Season 2 finale. But Nikki obviously wants to go, 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 and Brie is more concerned about her health, and that if she continues to go, 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 that she's going to risk doing more damage to her already, hindered health. But she's focused on WrestleMania. She's downplaying the injury, Brie says, and she is fully focused on making WrestleMania, despite the fact there's a pretty good chance she might not be able to wrestle. Brie and Brian, like I talked about before, don't know where Brie's going to give birth. She doesn't know if she wants to do it. She wants a home birth. She doesn't know if she can, though, because I think what they call it, a housewife, a home wife, a half-wife, they call it something like that, a doula, or something like that. They talked about it a little later on in the episode, but there's someone by her side that's going to help her throughout the pregnancy, obviously, while she's giving birth. And whoever she attends to, whoever is helping her out with that, doesn't do home births. So it's going to be tough for her, and she contemplates doing it in a hospital, but she wants a more natural birth, so they explore different options. Anyway, Mama Bella's still worried about the dogs and them going crazy and how they need to be trained. And she's like, oh, all these other dogs have killed babies before. We should be careful. And she eventually gets over it, but I think she should see that Winston and Josie are no threats to Birdie Joe. JJ goes with Nikki to go see Dr. Uribe. And meanwhile, Lauren wants to make sure that while JJ's with Nikki, she calls up Nikki to see how she's doing. But in the meantime, she asks Nikki if JJ's got his shit together for the wedding vows. They're always underestimating JJ. They don't believe he can do it. They don't have faith in him to kind of go through with this and get everything together. It's a nice payoff in the end, but as of right now, nobody has faith he's going to pull this thing together and have it go smoothly. But anyway, Nikki goes to see the doctor. He informs her that the re-aggravation of the injury was like above the fusion that she had from her surgery about a year and a half ago. So it's obviously not in a good place, which is why she's hurting in the neck. The doctor gives Nikki some bad news that he's worried about her condition and that it might be time to find something else to do beyond wrestling, because at this point, if she continues to wrestle, she might do even more damage to her health and have to require another surgery. Despite that, he does say that it's okay for now, that she can't do a ton, but he does clear her for WrestleMania, which Nikki is very happy about. She's obviously upset that she can't wrestle longer than she plans to, but she was already contemplating in-ring retirement at WrestleMania anyway. But he does clear her with a lot of limitations. I would have to watch back that WrestleMania match. I'm sure they're going to show highlights on next week's Season 2 finale. But I would have to watch the match back. I watched it, obviously, being there at WrestleMania 33. Did I say WrestleMania 32? WrestleMania 33. And obviously rewatching it soon after as well. But I don't remember how much Nikki was in the match. I know Maurice didn't do much, but I'm not sure if Nikki did either, and that might be because of the injury, which would make sense. Anyway, so Mama Bella and Johnny give Bree some dog training toys. Bree walks in on this, or rather Brian walks in on this and thinks it's something completely else, something completely different, after seeing the dog toy and thinking it's like a fucking a dildo or something. So thankfully that was not the case. Anyway, Nikki said, like I said, she does not have faith in JJ to pull this thing together and have everything go smoothly with the wedding vows. Bree makes a proclamation that she has not yet decided what she wants to do, and they get that settled soon enough. Nikki visits a betting website while she's with Daniel Bryan in the car about Cena proposing to her at WrestleMania 33. So, in my personal opinion, they could not have gone that far in the storyline without Nikki assuming that, okay, he's going to propose to me, or even knowing about it ahead of time. I find it very hard to believe that Cena would have kept the proposal a secret the entire time, because it was very obvious, based off the story they were telling on the road to WrestleMania on SmackDown, that John Cena was proposing to Nikki Bella. Obviously, it wasn't confirmed, but I find it very hard to believe that Nikki would have nothing, that she would know nothing about that. So anyway, in the process, too, she visits 411 Mania, 411mania.com, my go-to place for wrestling news. And also, they show a clip of a quick picture of Joe Burgett's article from The Inquisitor. Joe, good friend of mine. Shout out, buddy. Cool to see your name on the big screen on the E! Network on Total Bellas. Anyway, so Bree and Brian meet with a half-wife, a doula. Again, I'm not sure what they call it or what their purpose is, but apparently, from what it looks like, the job that they serve, the purpose they serve, is to help you throughout the pregnancy, like I talked about, throughout the birth, throughout childbirth, and being there for the husband or whatever, and making sure everything goes smoothly. So they say the best scenario would be to have the natural birth take place at the hospital, just in case Brian can't be there, or, the doula can't make the home or whatever, that she can't be there at the house for the birth, but she wants it to be a natural birth. Like I said, Bree wants it to be a natural birth, in a natural setting and not the hecticness of a hospital. So we'll find out more about that in next week's season finale. So anyway, to close it out, JJ is late picking up the family for the wedding vows. That's when they kind of find out, or they kind of get the hunch that he does not have his shit together after all. He shows up wearing jeans, underdressed. He arrives at a brewery in a bus with the entire family. They're thinking, okay, why the fuck are we at a brewery? This is not fancy. What a failure. But then he comes back out of the brewery, sure enough, wearing a suit with wine in his hand, and they embark off to a beautiful spot to renew their wedding vows. Lauren breaks down crying. It's a beautiful scene. It's great. But sure enough, right when the underestimate JJ. He pulls through with an amazing moment. So that was really cool to see. And to close off the episode, Nikki Bella is excited for WrestleMania week, where she will be clear to compete. She will be clear to compete alongside John Cena against The Miz and Maurice on the grandest stage of them all. So I will be breaking down and reviewing the Season 2, Episode 8 season finale of Total Bellas next week. So stay tuned for that right here on WWE Network and Chill. But in the meantime, in the between time, folks, be sure to like this video, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel for more daily content. And, yeah, find me on the socials, at WrestleRant on Twitter. Find me on Facebook as well, at facebook.com/graham.gsm.matthews. And also visit the website at nextairwrestling.net. Anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your week. I'm Graham GSM Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.